Have you ever been in a conversation, maybe in a meeting or just with friends, and someone says something that's a direct hit on your intelligence? Well, that's a dumb idea, or you clearly don't understand what's happening. It stings, right? Your mind races. Your first instinct might be to just stay silent, let the comment hang in the air, and feel that slow burn of embarrassment. Or maybe you're the type to fire back, getting emotional, defensive, trying to prove them wrong. The problem is, both of these reactions give the attacker exactly what they want: power over your emotions. They've managed to either silence you or provoke you. But what if there was a third way? A way to respond that isn't about winning a petty argument, but about demonstrating undeniable intelligence, dignity, and strategic calm. This is where the ancient wisdom of Stoicism comes in. The great Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus taught a powerful truth. Your response to an insult reveals far more about your character than the insult itself. So today, we're not just learning comebacks. We're learning how to transform a moment of attack into a moment of strength. Let's explore 5 clever, Stoic-inspired responses that will leave the other person speechless and solidify your reputation as someone who is calm, confident, and truly intelligent. Before we dive into the specific phrases, let's establish the core principle that makes them so effective. An attack on your intelligence is rarely about your actual intelligence. More often than not, it's a reflection of the attacker's own insecurity, frustration, or need to feel superior. They are trying to throw you off balance, to make you doubt yourself so they can feel more secure in their own position. Understanding this is your first line of defense. Your goal is not to stoop to their level. Instead, you want to maintain your composure, rely on logic and wisdom, and never, ever let their words define your worth. The moment you react emotionally, you've handed them the victory. The moment you respond with calm, strategic intelligence, you've already won. So let's get into the first response. Imagine someone has just dismissed your idea as foolish. Instead of getting defensive, you look at them calmly with genuine curiosity and say, "I'd love to hear your perspective on this." This phrase is brilliant for several reasons. First, it immediately shifts the burden of proof back onto them. You're not defending your idea. You're inviting them to present a better one. If they actually have valuable insights, great. You've just learned something new, which is the ultimate goal of any intelligent person. You've turned an insult into a learning opportunity. But if, as is often the case, their insult was just an empty jab, they'll be forced to either backpedal or reveal that they have nothing substantial to offer. This response doesn't just disarm them. It showcases your intellectual confidence. It says, "I am so secure in my own thinking that I am not afraid to listen to yours." True intelligence isn't about knowing everything. It's about being open to learning more. Now for our second powerful response. Someone questions your competence, perhaps with a condescending tone. Instead of arguing, you pause, make eye contact, and ask, "Help me understand your reasoning behind that." This is a masterclass in emotional control. You are not challenging their conclusion directly. You are questioning the process they used to get there. You're essentially asking them to lay out their logic on the table for inspection. This forces them to move from an emotional attack to a rational justification. If their insult was based on a genuine misunderstanding, this gives them a chance to explain it and you can clarify. But if it was just a baseless personal attack, their inability to provide a logical reason will expose the weakness of their position. This response positions you as the analytical, professional, and mature one in the conversation. You're not interested in a fight. You're interested in a clear, logical discussion. This brings us to our third response, which is perfect for when someone makes a sweeping negative assumption about you. They might say something like, "You're just not experienced enough for this." Instead of protesting, you can calmly reply, That's an interesting assumption. What led you to that conclusion? Notice the subtle power in the word assumption. You are immediately framing their statement not as a fact, but as a subjective belief they've formed. Then, by asking what led them to that conclusion, you are turning the tables. The spotlight is no longer on your alleged incompetence. It's on their thought process. You are now the one analyzing them. This forces them to retrace their steps and justify their own mental leaps. More often than not, people who make such assumptions do so based on flimsy evidence or personal bias. When you ask them to explain it, their weak foundation crumbles. You've masterfully flipped the dynamic, all while maintaining complete composure. Our fourth response is especially effective in a group setting, like a work meeting or a family gathering. Someone makes a personal jab at you instead of addressing the topic at hand. You take a moment, look around calmly, and say, "I find it interesting when people lead with personal attacks instead of addressing the actual issue." This response is incredibly powerful because it elevates the conversation. You're not just defending yourself. You're commenting on the nature of the conversation itself. You're holding up a mirror to their behavior, showing everyone in the room that they have resorted to immaturity instead of rational debate. This demonstrates high emotional intelligence. You're showing that you can observe the dynamic without getting sucked into it. It subtly calls out their behavior as unprofessional or unproductive, forcing them to either get back on track or look foolish in front of others. You achieve this without ever being insulting or aggressive yourself, proving you're the one with the real high ground. Finally, we arrive at the fifth and perhaps the most disarming response of all. When someone delivers a clear, unambiguous insult and you want to shut it down completely, you simply say with a calm, neutral tone, "I appreciate you sharing your perspective," and then you move on. That's it. This is the ultimate display of unshakable confidence. By thanking them, you are not agreeing with them. You are simply acknowledging their right to have an opinion, no matter how misguided, without letting it affect you in the slightest. You are demonstrating that their words have no power over you. This response is so effective because it offers the attacker nothing to push against. There's no anger, no defense, no argument. You've accepted their comment as just noise and have chosen not to engage. Their aggression is met with dignified indifference, which often makes their attack look childish and petty in hindsight. It shows true security and inner peace, the very core of Stoic wisdom. So let's put it all together. These 5 responses are not just clever lines. They are practical applications of Stoic philosophy. They are about choosing reason over reaction, calm over chaos, and wisdom over winning a petty fight. The Stoics taught us that our true character is not defined by what others say about us, but by how we choose to respond. What happens to you is external, but how you react is internal, and that is where your power lies. By mastering these phrases, you will never feel speechless or diminished by someone else's words again. You won't just be deflecting insults. You'll be building a reputation for unshakable confidence, earning respect, and maintaining your dignity in any situation. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found this useful and want more insights on building resilience and confidence, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to hear which of these responses you plan to try first, so drop a comment below. Until next time, stay wise and stay strong.